thunders, I stand here on the worst part of our human nature. It is 10 yards long, the cock of the giant of Caernarvon. The giant himself is a hillside high. His outline is a white chalk-filled trench as wide as my arm and 2 feet deep. His inside is complete in every part: ribs, nipples, eyebrows, belly button. In his right hand he carries a knobbed club pointing up to the clouds. His left hand saws the air as he steps westward. His member is magnificently erect. Nearby is the abbey founded by St. Augustine, with the silver spring that gushed up at his wink. Don't imagine that this forked radish Wycliffe got red in the face preaching to sheep. Every 7 years the giant is scoured to keep his art safe from the grass. Some that live in those valleys have an inherited obligation to repair and cleanse him. If they didn't, in time he would turn green like the rest of the hill and be forgotten. It was at the festival of the scouring that Wycliffe criticised the giant's erection, and there was a good-sized crowd to listen to his opinions. After they had wrestled for silver buckles and jumped in sacks and raced for cheeses rolled down the giant's legs. "It should be covered," Wycliffe complains. "Cover the giant?" A great laugh goes up in the sun. "How could you cover it?" Wycliffe considers, calling to mind his education, and then he announces, "In Greek times the statues were given fig leaves to hide what should not be seen by shamefast eyes." "Extraordinary big leaf you'll need here," points out some Pythagoras of the hedgerows. Wycliffe said, "Let it be a fig tree, then." And lo, there was a fig tree. Wycliffe's disciples planted one when the greasy pole had been taken down and the 7-year scouring was over. That is why in those days, before they were called Lollards, some called his people figures. They dug diligently, these flesh-abhorring figures, and they planted their fig tree on the wick of the Cairn giant, with the purpose to obscure the terrible splendour of him from the eyes of virgins passing on the road through the valley below. Now, life being what it is, the villagers of Caernarvon found that fig tree a useful and appropriate addition to their giant's attributes. In summer it was cool and shady to lie under, and a man and a woman could be secret there. In winter it kept some of the rain off. Glasses, glasses is the only drinking. Tell Macbeth he can pawn or smash the plate. My mother was a well-known wearer-out of husbands. This is not criticism. I do not criticize. I observe. She had been married 3 times before she met my father, joined to fellows of substance, too. None of your Johns of Gaunt. Men of pepper, ginger, cloves. My ghostly fathers, who did not fail to make me for a lack of kidneys. Yet knock as she might, I did not answer. Ferret as they did in her sweet little moss-grown coney patch, there was never a scut of a child. "Put it away, Worcester. You'll never get to heaven doing that." My father was a man of iron will. He had a red beard and eyes like caves. He married my mother sensibly for the triple joy of her widowhood, the 3 estates, but he was concerned, as an English country gentleman and an epitome of the chivalric virtues, with the making of a son. Having heard well of the giant's child-inspiring powers, my father takes my mother by the hand and leads her up to him the night before their wedding. It had been a hot day, the hottest day that any man could remember, the skylarks swooning in the sticky air, milk turning sour in the cow's udders. At the end of that hottest day, now it is suddenly Midsummer Eve, and the giant stands out bold and wonderful and monstrous on his long green Dorset hill, the moon at the full above his nobbled club. My father lays my mother down on the giant's thistle, in the modest shade of Mr. Wycliffe's burgeoning fig-tree. "Dear heart," says he, taking off his spurs and his liripipe hat, "I shall require an heir." If ever widow woman blushed, then my mother blushed hot when she saw my father unbuttoned above her in the moonlight. "My womb," says she, "is empty." My father engages the key in the lock. It is well oiled. He turns and enters and makes himself at home. I have been told
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.